Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 9 of this sort of advent calendar or Christmas vlog. I am Sam, if you haven't been here before, and I'm sorry I'm breathless, but I just came back from the gym and I rushed filming because, otherwise I wouldn't do that. So before I take a shower, I just want to spend a few minutes with you guys. So I am Sam, I'm an illustrator, an aspiring knitting designer living in Dublin. I'm originally from Venice, and this is my blog, Christmas Advent Calendar, in which I want to share with you some of my Advent traditions back when I was a child growing up in northern Italy. And we spoke about the weather a lot, the Christmas decorations, we spoke about food, some local dressing code for Christmas. I'll show you my, how do you call it, my folk costume, or part of it, from the northern part of Italy, very close to Venice. And today I would like to talk to you about another Christmas tradition that was big in my house, but this is true anywhere in Italy, to be honest. So I'm actually sitting on the ground beside this Christmas tradition. It's an old style sort of decoration that we have in Italian houses, and all started from St. Francis, if I'm right, and he started depicting the Holy Family, the crib. I don't know how many words there are in English to describe this, but basically it's a little a recreation of the crib where Jesus was born, and the family, Mary, Joseph, the little donkey, the sheep, and the farmers, and it's a little village that every household built during Christmas. It's a very big tradition, especially in southern Italy, to have clay-made statues, and actually the ones that I have here in my house in Ireland are actually coming from Napoli, and I bought them a few years ago. They are handmade, made out of clay. Anyway, I will show you this while I'm talking probably. I don't know how the editing will go. I'm pretty sure this video today will be a complete mess, and I'm still breathless, by the way. Anyway, as per our filming tradition, let's go back into Italy 20-something years ago, and once again, it's the 8th or 9th of December. It's decoration time. For us, we decorate our houses on the 8th of December, but if you have a fairly big house like my family had, it takes time to decorate everything. So the nativity scene, we call it presepio, was always left later on in the week. It's snowing outside and it's very, very windy. And the weather is quite foggy, cold, but inside is very warm and cozy. My great-grandmother is, of course, knitting by the stove, by the wood-burning stove. There is a coffee pot brewing on the stove, and everything smells so beautifully. I am looking forward to put on my wellies and go out and about in the countryside with my mom to pick up all the moss that we can find. And I'm actually talking about moss here. This is an essential part of every nativity scene, especially in my region. We go out in the country, it's frozen and very cold and very foggy and windy, and we collect the moss for the nativity scene. And that is an adventurous, really adventurous activity, especially it was for me. It was a very nice tradition, and I always have done that with my mom. And we pick up everything when it's about 11, 12. We hear from distance my grandmother yelling at us, come back, come back. It's very foggy and you're gonna get lost in the woods or anything. So we go back with a couple of bags of moss for the nativity scene. And then we'll start the work on the actual nativity scene. And that is a man duty. It's my dad that usually does the nativity scene. At home we have very old statues that belong to my family for a long time. I don't know if it's 100 years or 200 years. I never could tell. They are made out of gesso, which is like a chalky material, and they are really beautiful, and they have been repainted and redecorated for a long time. Anyway, I wonder sometimes if the faces underneath are what we are seeing now. But we would bring down from the attic this big box full of statues and start creating a nativity scene. And it's usually based in the entrance of the house over a big table and sometimes on different levels. We use big logs of wood to create the mountains, and I like to put a lot of animals. As I mentioned, I grew up in a farm. My family house was a big farm, and the crib, the nativity stable, used always to remind me of my own house. And so I couldn't see why there shouldn't have been a lot of animals there. And I used to put all the sheep that I could find, all the little statues of the sheep and all the pigs and all the cows everywhere. It was just a zoo rather than a nativity scene. But I really loved it. And the last statue was actually putting the moss to create the ground and the greenery around the nativity scene. It's something that I really loved doing. My dad, though, is a little bit a perfectionist, if you wish, completely different from me, and he liked everything to be extraordinarily perfect and true to life, which really frustrated me. And especially when I was very young, there were a lot of fights because I wanted the thing to be done in a very short amount of time, while my dad would be actually looking into every single details. But it nevertheless it was a lovely piece of work. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this little video today. I'm sure it's quite short, but I managed while speaking to keep up my breath and be back to normal, more or less. I'm going to take a shower now and I'll be back to you tomorrow. If you remember what we said, basically in every episode there is a knit along going on. Just pick one of my patterns and they are all in my Ravelry shop. Link is below in the description of this video. And yeah, you can enter by tagging me on Instagram, Ravelry, anywhere else, or here, or sending me an email using the hashtag in Irish Knitting Podcast. And at the end of this series of video, I will pick a winner, and yeah, of course the prizes are still to come, but there's a lot of Irish yarns, probably something from Italy as well, some patterns, and of course I'm thinking of getting a book as well, as per giveaway tradition on this channel. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.